From LEX 18, your official UK sports station for Big Blue Nation, this is BBN Tonight. Presented by UK Federal Credit Union.
UK track and field national champion Abby Steiner recently took up the 100-meter dash, and on Saturday, she gets a school record 10.92. That's the third fastest in the NCAA this season. Welcome to BBN Tonight. I'm Anna Cirillo, and Abby Steiner is amazing.
She's amazing. We've been on TV for like 30 seconds. She could have run that race 3 times.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I'm Maggie Davis. Also, the WNBA draft is going on right now, so we're going to hear from the queen herself, Ryan Howard, tomorrow night, all about her historic selection.
That's right. But tonight, let's get into the spring game and talk about what we learned about Kentucky football this season.
That's tonight's Big Blue Story, presented by CHI St. Joseph Health. The offense looked good. We thought that it would with Will Levis at the helm. He wasn't on the field for a long time, but he was out there for a good time. Went 7 of 8, 2 touchdowns, even threw 1 to C-Rod. I think we're going to see that a lot more this year, but all the backs look solid. Not a lot of separation between Cavassier Smoke, Jaton McClain, and Mike Drennan on Saturday, so probably still a battle going on between those guys and Lavelle Wright. He didn't play, just a little banged up, but expect to see him soon. Still room to grow in the wide receiver room, but encouraged by what we saw there, Anna. Tavion Robinson is going to be so special here, and the offensive line looks solid. Playing with Quentin Wilson at center because Eli Cox was at his brother's wedding, so I guess we can give him a pass for that one, right?
Pass.
That's an excused absence. Deion Buford started at left tackle. Jeremy Flax was over there at the right spot, and Dave Wallaball rotated into both tackle spots as the number 2 guy, and he looked solid as well. That's a spot we've talked about a lot. They weren't feeling a ton of pressure from the D-line, but overall, a good showing for the Big Blue Wall.
Now, across the line of scrimmage, defensive line was impressive, and that's a group that's going to get even better once Octavius Oxendine is able to join them. The linebackers were exactly what we thought that they'd be, a solid group. Jordan Wright, he didn't play, so we saw DeAndre Square move to the outside some. Probably it's not going to stick once Wright is fully healthy again, but good to see Square back out there and trying something new. Trevin Wallace also stepped up. He was all over the field early.
Right, and you're rarely going to get defensive highlights from a spring game because the last thing a defense wants to do is injure its own offense.
That's exactly right. They were definitely playing it, keeping it close.
Little safe.
And while the game was going on, I had the chance to talk with head coach Mark Stoops, plus Will Levis, since he only had a couple of drives before spending the rest of the day on the sidelines. Check this out.
Will, how does it feel to be out there today?
Feels great. Feels great to be in front of you fans again, and it's great to get out there and get these much-needed reps. And really glad how we played so far, and we're going to build this and keep it going through the summer into camp for the season next year. It's going to be a fun one.
Some great football weather out there today, too. Did you imagine this in Kentucky for a spring game? Snow?
Yeah, I mean, 80 degrees last week and like mid-30s today. Just wanted to thank the fans so much for coming out and watching some football. But I guess that's what you get out of Kentucky weather.
Obviously, for the fans, it's a chance to see you guys in action. But what do you get out of the spring game?
Just reps. I mean, every time you can get reps, you got to take advantage of them. Whether it's a walkthrough or it's a spring game, you gotta have the same mentality go into it, regardless of the stakes. And I think that helps you for those bigger moments because it kind of feels like it's just another day at the office, and you kind of just go out there and do your job.
All right, Coach. The few times you've talked about this team, you've been super excited. What about this group makes you so excited?
Well, we have great leadership. I really appreciate the way they've worked this spring. And I know we're going to have a great summer, and we can't wait to get rolling in the fall.
How about all these fans out here in this weather?
Thank you. You're amazing. This is some awful weather for the spring, but thank you. Appreciate you.
Anything in particular that you had your eye on today?
I just want to see good football, just fundamental football. I thought we did some really good things. We're getting better, but again, I appreciate your support, and we'll see you out here in the fall. Thank you.
Man, I mean, one of my biggest takeaways from the day was how many fans were there. It was unbelievable. Horrible weather, but I think the players were also really excited just to get out there, be on the sideline.
Yes.
I loved Levis's energy. He was so focused, ready to go. It was a great day, although it was cold.
And you could tell that they were so ready to play in that environment inside Kroger Field. Again, the young guys had never really gotten that opportunity before. You know, you go there for so long when you're being recruited, you're on visits, you're a fan, whatever the case may be, and then to actually get to suit up on that field has to be so special for those guys. And like you said, Levis, so much energy.
He was dialed in.
And he's a guy who is so competitive. He dove for the pylon in a spring
I saw that.
game.
My jaw was on the floor. I was like,
who does that? Levis has said this spring he's trying to dial it back a little bit, and his offensive coordinator really wants him to learn how to slide, at least when it makes sense to do so.
Since the day I walked in the door, we've talked about this. He's been really mindful of it in practice, practicing sliding, practicing getting down. Acknowledges when he does it to me that I would get down there. Like he's thinking about it. He understands what's at stake, and but it's part of his toughness and the style of player is, and why he's got a real bright future. When the game's on the line and you need a first down or you got to score, you got to be the guy. But until then, there are universities, teammates, organizations that are counting on you. So you got to be smart.
It's hard to break those instincts, but Skang's right. If you can avoid a couple of hits per game over the course of an entire season, that really is going to add up for Levis.
It does, and I just love that is his instinct. He's such a gamer. It's hard to talk him out of that, but I love that part about doing what's smart for an organization and understanding you have to be healthy and you have to be that guy. A big part of the spring game is just getting the younger guys comfortable and getting them reps, and we saw that on both sides of the ball.
Right, on offense, everyone is talking about the Lexington kid, Dane Key. He was the star of the game, making a couple of really nice catches, finding his way into the end zone. The early enrollee has clearly taken advantage of his time this spring, Anna. Will Levis even talked about it after the game, being like, early enrollees, it affects them all differently.
Yeah.
But for Dane Key in a room that needs some guys to step up, a lot of guys involved in that competition right now, it did him a lot of good to get in here early, start getting those reps, and getting comfortable with the entire offense, including with his quarterback, Will Levis.
Oh, for sure. And just physically what we've seen on the field, he looks great and ready to go. But what I've noticed since we very first had him in here on signing day was his poise. He already has the confidence and the poise of a college football player. He should technically still be in high school.
Right.
So I'm
very mature.
excited. Yes. And you can just kind of see that he understands what Kentucky football means. And I think he's going to be a great representative of it. On defense, we saw another youngster step up. That's redshirt freshman safety Jordan Lovett. He stuffed the stat sheet. He had a game-high 9 tackles, 2 pass breakups, a forced fumble, and a quarterback hurry. Mark Stoops believes Lovett can be a key contributor with more maturity. And with Vito Tisdale out for the season, Lovett really could see a lot of playing time.
Even if he doesn't know everything, he still tries to, it's an effort thing with him. He's a high effort guy. He's not always right, technically, but he shows a lot of effort. And, you can fix the MAs, but you can't, coach effort.
I think everybody feels him on the field. He plays hard, he runs around, he plays with effort, and he can just keep going. He's got an incredible stamina to him. He loves ball, he loves to be out there, he doesn't want to be taken off. From what I saw on the sideline, pretty impressed with how he played.
Lovett is 1,000 miles per hour all the time, and that's just how Brad White likes guys to play. We'll be pretty surprised if he doesn't find his way into the rotation at safety this fall.
Absolutely. And after the game, we were able to catch up with a couple of members of the broadcast crew.
Jet Picoro and Dick Gabriel have their takeaways from the spring game. That's right after this, only on BBN Tonight.